Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
I'm at soup.
Hello, welcome to TFYLP, episode, what is it, 412, 413? I can't remember.
A lot.
I just blanked. I think it's 413. Live for January 11th. So tonight I am joined by Christian.
What's up?
And Nick.
Howdy.
And Peter.
Forever Destron. It's 111. So like it's January 11th, so it's like 111. I don't know if that means anything. I just wanted to say that out loud.
There you go.
It's pretty wild.
It's like the year in binary or something.
11121.
No, there's no twos in binary.
I know.
Uh,
I'm just saying the numbers.
The numbers up to the 2-1, throws us off. So anyway, so tonight we are doing. We're doing our best of. We actually have it going over the next two shows. So this week is going to be our top mainline, and then next week is going to be our top masterpiece and third party. So figured that we'd split them up since I kind of feel like that the lines don't really compare that much. So yeah. So tonight we're doing mainline. We were going to start this a week early, but then the Transformers show hit, so we wanted to do a review of that wonderful piece of fiction. So if you want to, you can check that out, and get our thoughts on that. So
I want to point out on that episode, on that note, I had a little rant. I was like, okay, fine. So you're going to have Alicons, and you're going to have this and that, and you're not going to do that, but you're going to have the Quintesson. Spoiler alert, guys, whatever. We already talked about it. You're going to have the Quintessons have an army of gray Ironhides. Where are my gray Ironhides, Hasbro? Where are my gray Ironhides? Literally 24 hours after I said that, someone leaked, here come the gray Ironhides. They're going to be in the next Netflix wave. So I made that happen.
Was it gray or was it black? I thought it was a black Ironhide.
Black.
It's both.
It's a
blackish gray.
Black with gray scrapey lines. So I made it happen. You're welcome. You're welcome, America. You're welcome, world.
Welcome.
That sounds familiar. Like that time I made Reflector happen. How does it? It feels good, right?
It feels good. It feels
right? It
really
feels so good.
Yep.
See, there you go. So
The rest of you guys just need to catch up.
Little
Peter
did
and
we
Christian
know.
1, rest of the cast 0.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
Nick is getting trying one of us now.
We lost Nick.
Oh, I guess Esquire Prime said that his favorite figure of the year is Earthrise RC. So there you
That's
go.
a hot take.
But then he almost said that with a straight face. So
I
yeah.
don't think she's bad, but she didn't make my list.
The chest is in the right configuration compared to
Yup.
the MP. So
Yeah, it is.
the legs can go backwards.
They can. All right, who wants to go first?
So yeah, so I think we're gonna do our each of our top fives. So there's not really a lot of rules with this, other than we wanted to do it mainline. So before the show, Nick was asking us whether or not he could have Cyberverse in his top five. So we were trying to figure out exactly.
My notes, there were in fact no Cyberverse that made the list, but I did look.
So I guess in fairness, we need to say that mainline is basically anything that you can find at Walmart, Target, Toys R Us if you're in Canada and have Toys R Us. So that's Cyberverse and Selects. Okay. So it's Earthrise, Cyberverse, Studio Series, and Selects. And BotBots because BotBots were there in stores too.
Oh, well,
We
I didn't
didn't-
look at BotBots BotBots, damn
I
it.
didn't look at BotBots either.
We didn't get a lot of releases in 2020, to be honest, though. Not for BotBots. And most of what we got were redecos.
Yeah, there's not very many new molds last year.
Hmm.
But hey, BotBots is back this year with a new wave, new vehicles, and a new TV show. This is the year of BotBots, everyone. So next year, all my favorites will be BotBots. Come back in a year, and I'll be crazy again.
Spoiler alert, my entire list is select.
There you go. Well, we're also
One of mine
debating
is
on the show whether or not to count the Kingdom figures and the Studio Series 86, because those kind of dropped like at the end of the year. So like, you know, definitely there should be some Kingdom stuff on my list, but I chose to exclude that from my list just because I kind of feel like it's 2021.
I don't have those in hand yet, so I can't make a judgment call on those because I'm still waiting on mine.
Oh. You don't have yours yet? I mean, come on, get with the program.
Take it up with Pulse.
I already had that discussion today.
I know. You haven't been to like multiple Target. Oh, Big Bad was where I got my deluxe wave.
Me too.
I have not. I've been extra trying to not leave the house. I have not gone shopping in weeks at this point. So.
Well, yeah, but I got my deluxes from Big Bad. I got my Megatron from GameStop for online. So there you go.
I already have my pre-orders in at Pulse. They haven't done me wrong yet. I just said jinxing it, but you know.
Yeah.
You did say you said that out loud. You said that on the internet where it's.
I know.
Forever.
What a stupid thing to say.
I can't believe you've done this.
Forever.
Well, in honor of you ruining everything for yourself forever, why don't you go first? You take one.
All right.
What's like if you don't have them ranked? What's your first one? If you do have them ranked, what's your number 5?
I sort of have them ranked, and at the very least, I have them all in front of me. So, my runner-up is Dead Prime, because I never thought we'd get a dead Optimus Prime action figure, and look, here he is, and his head's all mangled, and how cool is that? Also, like before I even considered the weird decos, the regular leader class Earthrise Prime mold is just gorgeous. It's a damn near flawless figure anyway. And so having that awesome mold already, because, you know, you need all that posability when he's dead, and then adding the dead deco on top of it with the smashy face, this is a very cool figure, and I like him a lot. So, yeah, that's my runner-up. Despite how crappy the trailer is, the awesome figure makes up for it.
The trailer is exceptionally bad. It
is, right? It's real hollow and like...
All you have to... Okay. All you gotta do is get the non-F upgrade kit and the Toy Hack stickers, and then after you're spending $50 on upgrades or whatever, then it's fine.
They'll announce a better one in 3 years like they did with that fucking Galvatron. What did I spend upgrading that Galvatron?
You should not have done that.
Stickers, new head, and weapons. And if I'd gotten the fillers.
And how long did you wait for those upgrades, by the way?
Forever. And that's okay because finally, right? he does quality work.
It was.
Really nice. So happy with them.
Yeah.
So happy with my kits. Always. Yes. So worth it.
My complaints are not with render form here. My complaint is with the fact that I didn't think we'd be getting the world's best Galvatron toy this year. So.
We don't know that yet. They haven't. I don't think anyone's actually leaked that figure yet. So.
Well, if he's based on the render in the cartoon, you know.
Yeah, true.
It would be a difficult argument to make. So that's my runner-up.
I actually like the trailer.
My number 5, I'm going to say, is going to be Rotor Storm.
Oh, wait, that was runner-up? You're not even... I thought that was like in your top 5.
That was number 6?
Yeah, that's my runner-up.
Wow.
Oh, that's like an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grounded. No, we're done with you. Christian.
It's not your turn anymore.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if I knew that, I would throw all kinds of figures in honorable mentions. So anyway,
we do honorable mentions.
I had a whole list, and I narrowed it down. So
it's a good list.
You know.
Is that like all the...
I just went into my study and pondered. I'd held my face in my hand, stroked my beard like this, and thought about it until I figured out which it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I figured out that for my number 5,
yeah,
it's actually Studio Series Blitzwing.
Oh, cool. See, he almost made the list for me, too. I like
He's
it.
very cool.
He is.
Studio Series didn't have a ton of releases last year. They did complete Devastator, which is a huge milestone, and that in itself is really great and would have made the list if all the components came out last year. You get Skipjack and now he's screen accurate.
I meant the...
that should be this month. Well, I'll talk about it later. But yeah, Blitzwing is cool. He oozes character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this unpainted plastic could be better if it was a little bit darker, but honestly, it's fine. My favorite part is that he has one articulated hand that, in my display, I use for him to hold up the Jeep Bumblebee.
Ooh.
And hold him up by the throat. I don't have that here because
really
it's hard to transport that way, but that's how I have him displayed typically.
Just the fact that you can do that is really cool. I had no idea.
He only has one articulated hand, and that's what it's for. The other one, the only reason the other one's not articulated is because it replaces with the rifle attachment or the rip out Bumblebee's voice box attachment.
Is that what that is?
So it doesn't articulate, yeah. Anyway, Blitzwing, he's cool. He looks like Starscream. He's not Starscream, but the Starscream made from him looks bad.
Yeah.
And by Christian. I felt like I had to have a Studio Series release on here, and I felt like Blitzwing was the best one.
Studio Series was the closest I've ever got to having a movie figure on my top 5 of the year this year.
Was it Blitzwing?
It was either him or one of the other jets. Or jet or helicopter or whatever.
Jet Shatter?
What?
Jet Shatter?
Maybe is it Shatter? Or is it the other one? I like the helicopter too, and I know a lot of people didn't. Or was that last year, the helicopter?
That was last year.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh. So then, yeah, it was probably Shatter. I don't know. I stopped thinking about it when I said, no, we're not doing this.
I didn't like that toy. I'm trying to sell that toy. So if anyone wants a Jet Shatter, let me know.
Aw.
Peter, who's your number 5 or whatever?
Numbers. In no particular order.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with, because he's neat looking, and I love 1988. So I've got Double Dealer here.
He got real close to my list too.
He's fantastic. I know a lot of people. Oh, he's just the Gen 1 articulated. You know what I like? Gen 1 and articulation. When you put the two together, and you have a beautiful deco, great transformation. All the gimmicks, almost all the gimmicks are there, and eventually, I'm sure we'll see some kits that'll flesh out what's missing on this guy. Because I would love to see some Titan Master size Power Master engines that plug in and have a little slot on the legs and plug them in where the engines go. But anyway, that's just me pipe dreaming. But as a standalone figure, I think this guy is great. He nails the look, all the looks that you need from a Double Dealer toy. I have him happily sitting cosplaying as Double Clouder, because in the cartoon, Double Clouder was using the Double Dealer deco. So this is my Double Clouder in my Master Force display, and he makes me very happy. So yeah.
Very nice. All right, so my number 5, I probably could have a bunch, but I'm going to put one of the Dotson brothers. I'm a little annoyed, and I have actually quite a few figures that I've rebought the character this year, but they're so nice. And I feel like that this just really invokes the Masterpiece toy for me. I mean, scaled down, it's like, not as nice, but close. And it's just pretty much everything that I would want from a mainline Prowl figure. Just love the deco. I love the windows and all that. So unfortunately, he's an exclusive. He's Amazon exclusive, right? So
with Ironhide.
It's one of all these figures that are probably super expensive now, just because you can't find them. But yeah.
Nice choice. Nick, it's you again.
I got my number 5 here. It's Rotor Storm, because Wreckers combined. Well, I thought it was funny. And that's pretty much the entire reason he made the list.
But he's beautiful.
He's beautiful.
Very beautiful
the paint
figure.
job is amazing. It's a good figure in the first place. The downside is that mine doesn't really hold his gun all that well. It just keeps popping out. But whatever. But the goggle eyes are there, and it's everything I wanted my Rotorstorm figure to be. Maybe he's a little short, but that's okay. And the weird 3 cockpit thing that's happening is kind of weird. But you know what? If the character happened, I'm happy.
Exactly.
Happy to sacrifice the perfect, for having this guy at all. And it's been years.
I gotta find a gun kit for mine.
Gun kit?
There's a couple of different gun kits available, yeah. On TF Safari and other places. And
I make a Safari order for a bunch of stuff. I just haven't done it.
Same. I have a cart that's just full of stuff.
Yeah. Am I the only one who still hopes that Sandstorm comes from Rotorstorm?
You are not. I was going to make a point about that. In '97, this is the middle of my high school years, Machine Wars came out. And I loved Machine Wars. Loved it. I didn't care that the flip changer guys. I didn't care that Megatron was the wrong color. I didn't care that Optimus Prime looked freaking horrible. I didn't. I vaguely knew the origins of the larger figures, but my brain, I loved that Machine Wars Sandstorm toy. And I was 16, 17 years old, flying my helicopter around high school, just I don't give a. You guys make fun of me. I know, and this is mid '90s, so no one gave a crap about Transformers and hadn't for years, and no one would until Beast Wars took off, a year or two later, took off. So I was just odd man out, just this guys, check it out, he's got a little thing, you push the button and the guns go like this, now I can spin the thing. Okay, well, and so I thought that it was the harbinger of the return of, because I was annoyed with the Beast Wars, the initial waves of Beast Wars toys. So I was like, Machine Wars is the next new crazy thing. They're gonna bring vehicles back, and it's gonna be like it was when I was a kid, and it's gonna be freaking wonderful, and I love it. And then there was only that one wave of Machine Wars, and we were sad, and we didn't see any robots that turned into vehicles until, Transmetal sort of, and then RID later. But it gave me hope, and I needed it.
Well, and it was the only U.S. release for a lot of those European figures too. So, but I would love that if they do, Machine Wars repaints and whatnot coming out. So I'd love to see some of those European figures come out too.
They've been on my the Turbo Masters, the Accelerators, the Sky Scorchers. They're all on my short list for people that need a redo. We don't need another side swipe. give me Boss and Hurricane,
I agree. All right, Christian, who's next on your list?
All right, I feel like this is going to be a surprising entry. You guys wouldn't expect me to put this one here. But my number 4 is Earthrise Trailbreaker.
Hey,
I really like this Trailbreaker.
Hey, what's that radar dish?
Oh, that's from the Centurion set. It's for him.
Oh.
Cool. Radar dish. Anyway.
I love it.
Actually, it's Ironhide who used the Sonadar sensor on his forearm in SOS Dinobots. And Trailbreaker used the radar dish on the back of the truck in the second episode. So if you just, they could share the accessory. I'm sorry.
I gave Ironhide the drill, so I figured Trailbreaker could have the radar dish.
That would be the third episode.
Yeah. I don't need a display for every episode. That would be cool, though. And insane. That's something an insane person would do. Every episode gets a
fresh cast.
Fresh cast.
All 98 episodes.
This is my episode 1 shelf. This is my episode 2 shelf.
This is a fantastic idea for Anna. One per character is one per character per episode.
But wait a minute. When you have an episode like a Prime Problem,
you get 2 primes.
There's 2 primes. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I leave it to you if you're treating 2-parters as one episode, or if you're treating them all as individual episodes.
What are you gonna do for 5 faces, man?
I feel like this just solves everything. All of these rules,
the movie.
we've solved it, Peter.
Sorry, Christian. Trailbreaker, please.
I really liked the Hoist mold when it came out, and typically I like the Hoist Deco better, but I don't know if this is a mistransformation or a different transform. I don't remember the instructions anymore, but I feel like I've transformed Trailbreaker in a way that he's taller than Hoist and less squat, because Hoist is kind of squat and Trailbreaker is a little bit taller. Anyway, this Trailbreaker is in scale with his Arc buddies. He's just, I mean, the head sculpt is way on point. The colors are exactly what they need to be. Like, this is the Trailbreaker. I never need another. And we went a long time without ever getting one, and now we've gotten several recently, and this is the one.
Yeah, he's great. I love him.
By Christian.
I think the only complaint, the nitpick that you could have is that the panels on the arms, if those folded in half, that could be a little bit nicer. But
yeah, I guess that's true. But I don't mind. He's so good.
No, he is really, really good though. So.
Peter, correct me if I'm wrong, or Nick, you might know too. I think this is the most ARC crew members we've gotten in one calendar year since '84.
That sounds right.
I would say
I believe that.
I won't argue with it.
It's if anyone is, I mean, they might be close, but I feel like we got a bunch of them last year. Especially if you include the Netflix stuff, because that pulls in, B, Sideswipe, and Hound.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, awesome. Peter, what's next for you?
Is it me? Oh, okay. This one is it's one mold, but it's 6 figures, ish. So
is it?
It is ish. So it's a Seeker. It's the Earthrise Seeker mold. And
yeah.
I'm holding up Thundercracker because Thundercracker. But we got Starscream and Skywarp and Dirge Thrust and Ramjet. Thrust most recently, he technically hit last year. We pre-ordered him last year. Oh, dude, 7. You're right.
Yeah.
Did mine show up? I think mine showed up. I don't think I opened him. I think he's in storage already. Like he's got to come out.
That's disappointing.
Because a whole bunch of stuff showed up in the middle of December, and then we had a whole bunch of personal crapola happen, and Christmas in the middle of it. So I just took all my boxes as they arrived and just threw them all in storage. I'm like, get out of here! Can't have you right now. And I haven't gone back and sorted things out. But yeah, the Earthrise Seeker mold. Excuse me. It's basically like an upscaled and prettified 2006 Classics Seeker mold. Same basic transformation, but hang on, I got a cough. Yes, I sound better. Okay, so it's it's an upscaled. It's okay. In 2006, when the classic stuff came out,
upscaled Seeker molds because the old ones are all starting to crumble now.
We'll talk about that in a sec. When the Seeker mold first came out in Classics, I was like, this is great, but why is Prowl, or not Prowl, who else came out in that first wave?
Bumblebee, Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
Starscream?
Yeah.
Well, Starscream wasn't taller than Starscream, but...
I see what you're saying.
Your input's great.
So I was miffed that the Seekers were so short compared to, Bumblebee. They were roughly of a size, So it's like, Bumblebee should be shorter, the Seeker should be taller. This would be great if the Bumblebee came out and they're doing that. I don't know, it's new. It's called Legends with the Cybertron reissue stuff. It's newish. There's small versions of those guys. So if we had a Legends Bumblebee, I guess we do have a Legends Bumblebee over here now. Anyway, that's not the right size, but I don't like it. But I didn't like that the Bumblebee was too big, and I didn't like the Bumblebee's too backpack. But I wanted the Seeker to be bigger. And every time, we got new decos from the BotCon stuff and from Universe 2.0 and all that other stuff. I was like, I wish these Seeker molds were bigger because they're just too short. Eventually, Prowl and Ironhide and those guys came out in Universe. And I was like, why is Prowl taller than these Seekers? This sucks, and I hate it. I was happy that we got the toys. I was happy that we got the figures. I was happy that we got plastic representation of the characters. But it always irked me that everyone was the wrong size in my head and on my shelf. So this solves that problem quite nicely.
Yeah.
And they didn't skip anything. We got all the cone heads. We got extra cone heads. We're probably going to get an nacelle at some point.
The only reason that the Seekers didn't make my list is because of the weird way the chest lines up, so that sometimes you can see through them. That was the only thing that kept them off my top 5. Yeah, whatever. It's not always there. It depends on how it was put together or just how it was like packaged, I guess. I don't know, maybe the plastic worked on some of them, but that was the only thing that kept this off my list.
Catherine is suggesting that we should have a Seeker of the Month club from Hasbro.
Yeah, take my money. Yes, I would spend $50 on a Seeker every month.
You guys have all seen my Seeker wall. Yes, please. Please.
I was going to say, all of us would subscribe to that, so...
I would even take more Tetrajets if I had to.
Yeah,
well,
give me all the decos.
That, but whatever, sure.
I'll take it. Give me all the decos of this mold and the derivative wings, and give me all the decos of the Tetrajets. I'll take it.
Give me the Shattered Glass ones. Find an excuse to do a Leader 1 homage. Yeah, take all my money.
Great. Wonderful.
Black Death Starscream.
Yeah.
Black Death.
Starscream. Go Starscream.
And that jungle-colored Ramjet one.
Yep.
That doesn't have a name yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, regular Gen 2 Ramjet? Regular.
I think that's coming this year.
I hope so.
It was on the list.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's on a leaked list.
Blackout. Like, we got Sandstorm. Give me Blackout.
We could... I mean, they could put, like, the little tank accessory, because there's a mounting point on the back of the jet. They could put the little tank accessory for the Gen 2 guys in one of the accessory packs or something. Look at Nick. He's like, what? He wants it. Yeah. I want it too. Give me all the secrets.
They could do like Nacel's friends, because those other two, like the Starscream and the Skywarp that had the other parts on it from that catalog.
The other proto guys. Sure, why not?
See, why are they releasing all this like buzzworthy stuff? You know, right? Like they need this instead, right?
Because
this would totally sell better.
Moms and grandmas, when they're shopping for their kids, they know Bumblebee. They're like, oh, look, it's a Bumblebee.
It's a Bumblebee.
Junior needs 14 of those.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, but who cares what'll sell?
It's like
it's what we
Hasbro's here
Okay,
to
but
placate us.
if you could turn around and sell this at a higher markup and a better percentage to us, why wouldn't you?
Can we talk about Buzzworthy just for a moment?
We have to.
Briefly. You know how we thought they had learned from the Prime Dark of the Moon Bumblebee Swarm problem? So for the past several years we haven't had Swarm anymore. It's so nice to see Swarm back. It's not. I hate it.
I mean, at least you've seen them somewhere. I have yet to see these anywhere. Of course, I haven't been out. But I've had a friend looking for me, and he can't find them.
They already look like beating the crap out of them.
Because all the kids are like, hey, look at Bumblebee, look at Bumblebee. And you're like, no, little kids, don't touch my stuff. It's my stuff.
Anyway, I'm done. Thank you for letting me do that, Peter. I'm sorry I hijacked your secret.
No, because we gotta digress again and talk about how Nick has been breaking all of his BotCon toys lately.
I'm not breaking shit, man.
You know, I saw your post. What Nick is talking about is that the rear fins, they're pinned together in such a way that they just friction each other apart.
Yeah.
I actually had FunPub replace my Thundercracker back in 2009.
Really?
Because I had him in the box since like 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, I displayed him once, but I didn't like do anything with him, and he's been in the box for 2 years essentially after that because I went to college. And then I was like, "Hey, FunPub, this is like really broken, and it's just been in the box right then. Can you help me with this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah," and they sent me a replacement part. It was cool. But
that's cool.
I've known about it for a while.
This is not though. Like there were a couple of them where it's like, okay, this fin is either the plastic has expanded or whatever, and now the fin doesn't flip up and down anymore. But like the way that the cracks were forming was very much along the metal swirl, which makes me go, oh, that's a likely candidate for GPS, and you need to be watching those carefully.
That Thundercracker's gonna have a problem.
You need to make your call and put them either in jet mode or robot mode and call it that way forever now, and make your peace with that.
Mine has never left the home, so...
I got the Generations version instead.
Yeah, well, I mean, the classic Starscream is the mass release figure, and he's got the same issue. Him and the Thundercracker, of the ones I was looking at yesterday, were not good, man. So that's the thing to watch out for.
Until this guy came out, I had a Universe 2008 or whatever Starscream that I painted up in a lighter blue, in this this color blue for my Thundercracker because I hated when it eventually did come out. I was like, nope, I'm not doing that because it was too dark. It was like toy blue, and I wanted cartoon blue. and like my preference.
I prefer the toy blue.
Not me. It's too close to Dirge. When they're standing on the shelf together. I mean, I know obviously one's a conehead and with different wings and one's not, but it's like I want him to be like a nice light blue, talking about that geeky Star.
Dreamwave made that mistake on a cover once.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
I saw someone in a post today said they were complaining about More Than Meets the Eye because it's the anniversary of the first issue of More Than Meets the Eye coming out, and someone was complaining that Dreamwave stories were better. And it took everything in my power to like not just like rage respond on Facey Page to that individual. Nope.
Let me tell you why that's bullshit.
I mean,
yeah,
Dreamwave's not terrible. I don't think
it's not terrible. If
it doesn't touch More Than Meets the Eye.
Exactly. Yeah. If the Brad Mick person.
I'm agreeing. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, when it switched over to IDW, because, like, you know how we all complained that the new stories are, like, not as good as the older IDW stories, right? Like, so were there people back then complaining about that? Like, bring back Dreamwave, even though, you know, they went out of business, but...
I will say, I wanted them to wrap up what they had worked.
That was the problem, is that there were a bunch of stories that weren't finished.
Yeah, wrap up Energon, be done with it, wrap up the Brad Mick storyline with Cyclonus and Elita 1 and the other fembots, whatever.
Age of Wrath.
No. I mean, we could wrap up Age of Wrath, and Furman did for us. He released the scripts. I mean,
He did. I have one of them signed by him.
See, there you go.
Okay.
But we're digressing.
Yeah, so Peter, what's your next pick?
It's not my turn. It's your turn. It's your turn.
It's my turn. Okay, so I am going to go with Mr. Skylynx. And I will say that this Commander class is just incredible. The fact that they've released 2 toys in this that both, like, you know, I've enjoyed just as much as the Masterpiece third-party counterparts is just amazing. But this thing, it just looks so good. I guess it's actually still available. I think I saw one at Target the other day. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I can't believe that we actually, you know, after Combiner Wars released like a small version of it, and you're like, I guess that's okay. But I'm just gonna get like this like tiny little Skylynx. It's like, oh, they finally released like a proper Skylynx, and it is amazing.
My only problem with that figure is the dark blue. I would much prefer the brighter blue of the original toy.
I see your point.
But he's beautiful, don't get me wrong.
I like that he has a whole exclusive set devoted to upgrading him coming out next month.
I'll be more excited when it's in my hands.
Oh, is there? Who's that from?
Yeah. It's the Botropolis Rescue Pack from Amazon. It's part of the Galactic Odyssey collection.
Oh,
they were
I gotcha.
Specifically colored to match him. So
because Skylynx gets lost on the way to Earth, and they have to go to Botropolis and rescue him.
And
he took a detour through the dead universe.
No, he didn't. That didn't happen. I refuse to believe that happened. That episode was 2 dream sequences. Are you kidding me? No.
What, you don't like a flashback within a flashback?
No, I don't. Why would anyone do that? And then use the Cybertron Flame Door stuff? How dare you? Anyway, that was last week, and I wasn't here for it, so I'm getting it out now.
Did you watch the episode? Did you listen to us?
No, not yet.
You should.
Okay.
It's feisty.
Ooh. Because that was a good pick.
Yeah, there we go.
Agreed. Am I up?
You are.
Who's next? Yep, there you
go. Number 4 is going to be Exhaust. Because I love the Wheeljack mold in and of itself, and he almost made the list, but I went with Exhaust because smoke.
Hey.
Smoke.
I saw that guy on a TV show, and he had a different head. And he had a different head. The head was wrong, so that toy's head is wrong. Take it off.
Is that what they did? Does he have the...
He has a Wheeljack head on there. Yeah.
Well, this is a better Exhaust then. So
I
I love him, and I'm always happy to have representation of this character. Every time they do one, I get super excited about it because I'm an asshole, I guess. I don't know. I love him. He's great. I'm fascinated with this mercenary faction. I do wish he just had a plain old Decepticon logo, but I like the mercenary faction better than the stupid knights and pirates they did. This is a much better faction. If you're gonna have a third faction, so.
Yeah, I was watching Skullface's review of the show over the weekend, and he had a good point, I thought, because I don't like the name of the mercenary faction. I didn't know I didn't like it until he said he didn't like it.
What's the name?
Mercenaries.
Oh.
It's like Autobots, Decepticons, and
Mercenaries.
Like, they should have, like, a name, I feel like.
Mercabots?
I don't know. I thought the Starseeker name back from Prime was a good thing for that. They were more piratey, but they could repurpose it.
Pirates.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So as long as they release a lockdown eventually as a mercenary, like, I'm okay with it. But I'll be very upset if they just like keep going with this mercenary thing just to throw random guys that were Decepticons in before as mercenaries.
Yeah, that was weird. See the Coneheads in there.
And notice they had no faction symbols whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
So they'll wind up
Delegates
on
have
Earth
like
with
all kinds of faction symbols, and he had none.
Yeah.
All right, who's up next?
Christian, you're up.
That's me. Mine's very short because my next one is also the Seekers, just Sandstorm representing instead of Thundercracker.
Sure. He good.
For everything Peter said, and we already talked about before, the Seeker mold is incredible. You guys know I'm devoted to the original mold. I'm just as devoted to this one, too. Give me all of them. I'll take them forever. The end by Christian.
Is that me now?
Yes, sir.
Peter?
All right. Mine is this guy. It's Skyling.
Hey.
What?
And I love that they have this commander class that like they've done 2 releases on it, and both characters they just nailed the look. And I think back to Combiner Wars, and we got the little Skylynx, and you think this is the only one we're gonna get, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have this little Skylynx. But this one, the commander class, it's big, it nails the look, everything I like about it. It's great. It's a great figure, and you should go get one.
It's the new copy pasta now. We're just gonna copy pasta this for the next couple of.
Okay,
Thanks,
if we're
Peter.
going to talk about Skylynx again, I really do appreciate his vehicle mode a lot. His base mode is what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I think his base mode actually makes sense as a base mode. Like the rest of the modulators, they don't really do it super well. I think Skylynx does it really well. Like I think I'm going to display him with his rescue team in base mode. It's like a whole base.
His base mode is better than the Titans Return base modes.
That's true.
Got that right.
So,
I was super stoked to see that Skylynx was officially licensed and he had the NASA stuff on him. That was huge.
Yeah.
That went a long way in making this figure a lot cooler.
Yep. My one complaint, and Lucas, I was mimicking what you were saying, but I agree with everything you were saying. When we got the Combiner Wars, when I was just completely crestfallen because I was like, this is it. This is the Skylynx we're gonna get for the next decade. Great. And it doesn't do both. Split up modes. You've got like the Lynx head in the combiner mode, and you've got the. I'm not. And then they reused it as Desirous, and I'm just like, nope, checking out of this one. I'm done here. So, I got the MMC version, and then this one came out, and I got that too because brain damage.
And the brain damage.
Got that brain damage. I got a brain damage sidebar later, if we have time. But what
we
I
always
don't
have time
like
for you, Peter.
Yay! What I don't like about the Skylynx mold is that the base mode, while it does look good, is what they're using as shuttle base or rocket base, the
For the
victory
countdown or
base, and I am not on board with that. Having a rocket base be Skylynx is not my jam. I want the victory rocket base and a galaxy shuttle to go with it, and the rocket, the zone rocket, to go with that. And then a Skylynx, and then, all the Micromaster bases, and all the Micromaster transports, and all the Micromaster teams, and all the Micromasters, because where are they? The end. Oh, I'm sorry, I won't say the end. That's not
I don't think they're using it as Galaxy Base or whatever.
I
When
feel
I
like
think that
they
their
are.
intention is to use the new pack as that, which I think is even worse.
When they showed it off at the Fan Friday or the whatever it was, when they had their big to-do with the like, hey everybody, it's Hasbro and we're here to talk to you about Transformers. Don't you love those fantastic robots in disguise? All your favorite characters.
It's not that
They
bad.
should hire you.
It's that.
It's not that bad anymore.
It's gotten
No one has
marginally better.
No one has uttered the word family in 3 years.
Family.
Family.
They've rid themselves of that term. Because rid and robots and just is that reaching? It's reaching. It's too far gone. But no, they said in their little slideshow, they're like, who loves Skylinks? Oh, and he turns into Rocket Base now. And it's like, no, you guys are wrong. This is bad. Oh, NASA, cool. No, that's not the Rocket Base.
I may have just blanked that out of my memory because that's crap.
Yeah, I was like shaking my fist and like shouting at the television, and just like no. But I want a proper Rocket Base. Other than that, Skylinks is great, and the Botropolis Rescue set is fantastic. The reuse of Double Dealer's rocket, the redecos of the Micromasters, and the retooling of the Micromasters, just bring it.
I like when big fella's got little fella to help him.
They get little buddies.
All right, is it my turn again?
Yes.
So my next pick is another exclusive, which is Soundwave. And I'm a little perturbed that I bought another Soundwave this year. I had one last year and then this year, but this is so fantastic. Like, it is just such a great figure.
Look at that light piping shining through right there for you. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Has the red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just everything that you could possibly want from a mainline, Soundwave. So
it's going to be really tough to have to decide between him and my device label.
The decision's already made. My device label got shunted off to my my desk at work to hang out with, and he's in tape deck mode too, and he just hangs out with my Megatron stack.
I can't believe that pack didn't come with Buzzsaw.
Right? What a missed opportunity!
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
And they're like,
They're
we're not going to release Buzzsaw, so...
They're going to release Buzzsaw when they do Marvel Color Soundwave in a year.
there you go. Or your Shattered Glass
Don't
Soundwave.
you say that to me. Don't you say that to me, Peter.
I'm
We've
here
been
to help.
talking about Marvel Soundwave for years. Years.
I
remember talking to you about when King Grimlock came out. Like, oh, Marvel Colors Grimlock, they gotta be doing Marvel Colors Soundwave. No, they didn't.
Never again.
It's coming. It'll happen. Not for Masterpiece, but for this, they're gonna milk the hell out of these molds.
Spy Patrol 4th Unit, Garboil, Howback, Buzzsaw, and Enemy. Let's do it.
Sounds good to me.
All the cassettes. All of them.
All of them.
As long as I get my Shattered Glass Ravage this year, I'll be happy. He's the one that's waving. Am I up? Am I?
I think so, yes.
All right. My number 3 was too large and too many pieces to bring down and put on my table because it's behind my computer is all the work stuff and it's full right now. So there was no room for the Seacons as a group, all 6 of them. Piranha King, whatever the hell, the big giant super robot guy. So much retooling and so much pretty deco went into this figure. It has absolutely earned a place on top 5 for me. And yeah, I'm kind of cheating and putting all 5 of them as one
6
item. 6 of them, yes, as one item. But sue me. I love them. They're gorgeous. It's one of my favorite decos throughout the entire run of Transformers. I love those colors all grouped together like that. And they're great. They're awesome.
They
I
are.
really did think that was the pinnacle of what Combiner Wars can be.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know that I love Combiner Wars very much. And as the time has gone on, we started getting, this kind of stuff now. the Combiner Wars stuff has lost its luster a lot for me. So to see them come back with the Seacons and Boat Decos this year, it really makes me feel like, yes, those were worth something. And maybe the original run wasn't like the best and the ultimate version, but
okay,
really
but like,
can be with just a little bit more care.
Take a step back and go look at the original Combiner toys and how they compared to the Autobot cars in 1986.
Yeah.
It's very similar in the way that the Combiner Wars guys compare to the regular deluxes. Yes, some things were sacrificed to make them all combine, but you still have a toy that is comparable with the rest of the line.
And we got almost all of them.
Yeah, we did. And the Seacons, being the last scramble combiner type for the US market or whatever, were a step up from all the 86 and 87 types. They had more accessories, they had that Target Master gimmick, there was an additional character on the team, 6. I know Devastator had 6, but he wasn't a scramble style, so...
Right.
Yeah, the Seacons were my first complete combiner as a kid. I got over the course of 1988, I managed to get all of them, and it was just I had individuals from the other teams, so I could like swap them in, swap them out. But the first like complete set combiner wise that I got was Piranacon, and it was just like a revelation in my collection. Little 7-year-old me, my brain melted. Good pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Thanks.
So going back, some people in the chat are saying that they hope that Soundwave is retooled into Blaster, and I 100% agree.
Got to do something, man. It's been
and Twin Cast,
absolutely
another one. So, yep,
yeah, Twin Cast for sure. You know what? Put them on the Merc team with Sound Blaster. Make them team up once in a while.
There you go.
I think that sounds interesting. There's character development there. Make him a different guy, and Sound Blaster is already a different guy from Soundwave now. So
yeah, that was
make him a different guy.
I guess that's better than them both fighting to the death, blowing up, and getting rebuilt
on the same day.
On the same day.
It's a busy day for those guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you get when you get technology from Planet Master. You can blow people up and then immediately rebuild them in your respective bases, and everything's just fine.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness for new Soundwave.
Billy. God, we needed Billy.
We're getting Wally soon. Wally's coming out. Or he's wave 2. Yeah.
Someone needs to come with a power pack. I also want Starship Bruce to get reissued for people who don't have them.
We need another issue of Starship Bruce, yeah. With more weapons.
Lots of weapons.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, so my number 2, right?
Yeah.
Number 2. It's hard to split between 1 and 2. I mean, they represent such different things for me, but I decided that my number 2 is Earthrise Prime.
Okay.
Much like the Trailbreaker I talked about earlier, like this is the Prime I've always wanted. Like, this is it. He comes with the trailer. You can get the roller and an axe and this big-ass gun for him. He's so cool. And he transforms, he looks like the Thing, and he's got the Matrix. His colors are really cool. This is my guy. This is the Prime I always wanted. And I'm a super fan of the Classics mold. I collected all of them at one point. I still love that mold. I think it's amazing. This is the guy. This is what I've always wanted, and he's here.
I feel like that this figure too, like it's the perfect size. The articulation is just so much fun to mess with. Like, I don't think that there's been another Optimus Prime that I've wanted to just play with, mess with, pose, all those types of things as this Earthrise Prime.
I mean, he looks the part. You guys have said everything. He looks the part. He feels the part. He is the Prime that should be on your shelf. If you're going to only have one Prime, this is the one.
Yep. Absolutely.
I still love my Henkai Prime, and I think I'd have a hard time deciding between them if I had only put one on the shelf. It's still...
Is your Henkai Prime my Henkai Prime?
No. No.
Okay. I think
my Crystal Prime, I think, is your Crystal Prime.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
because your original one was busted.
Broken! Yes, thank you, eBay. It was great. Yeah. And it was packed so well, I left the guy nice feedback before I opened it and checked it. And then I opened it and checked it, and the elbows were shattered. So, thanks, buddy.
Get some F's in the chat for Nick. All right, Peter, what's your number 2?
My number 2 was so disappointing in the cartoon that
it knocked him down to number 2 from number 1.
No, I wouldn't go so far as that. But I love the Quintessons. I love them. I love their little goofy heads. I love them killing people. I love them just being like ridiculous and a pain in everyone's ass in season 3. I love me some Quintessons. And this is like Christian said about the Prime. This is your Quintesson. If you don't want to spend $180 on X-Transbot's Eggman or whatever it is, $180? And you don't want to roll back the clock 10, 12 years and get the Impossible Toys version, which does not look the part as well, and is also $200 now. Yeah, price went up on that. I mean, I'm sure it's crashing now because, well, once the availability of this is saturated, then the Impossible Toys stuff is be way cheaper. But yeah, this is amazing. I am.
The transformation on it is great too.
I'm not going to comment on that. I'm really happy to have.
One thing I don't like about that figure is that all of the faceplates aren't removable.
That is a criticism.
I would have liked to have switched the order of the faces if I were able.
Yeah.
But
Nick really just wants to be able to saw the faces off like the cartoon.
They can reach consensus.
I mean, really, if you're going to have that be in your story, why would that not be a feature? What a missed opportunity.
I thought it was a feature, but I didn't know not all of them came off, so.
Just the 2 that are intact.
Yeah, the 2 that are off to the side of the package, yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah. I'm excited to get, because I haven't opened my my Pit of Judgment yet. So I'm excited to open that one. So I have one in a slightly different deco. And then I was hoping, like Nick was saying, that all the faces are removable because I was going to buy an additional set of each and then swap the faces onto the other head. That way I had a different color head, different color faces, and they were mismatched. So I had 3 distinct Quintessons. Alas, it'll only be sort of possible. Whatever. So yeah, if you can find him and you don't want to, and you can find him without paying an arm and a leg for him, he will show up at Ross in 6 months.
I recognize that this is asking way too much, but I wish that those tentacles were wireframe posable.
I'll give you that.
It's such a minor complaint.
It's minor, but yeah, the faces are all they all. I mean, that's, oh my goodness, and their little mouths move.
Yeah, sculpting on those faces is really good.
Yeah, and they can render judgment on whoever they want. So yeah, that's it.
So what's your final verdict? Guilty or innocent?
By capitalism? Is that a verdict?
What? No.
Capitalism is the verdict when it comes to this guy.
Be into the Sharkticons.
So I kind of feel bad. Catherine was mentioning earlier the retool for like the Nemesis Prime for Wave 2 for Netflix. That's not on my list, but like that was a really fantastic like group of figures. Like the Wave 2 in general is much better than Wave 1, and that figure was just like all the pack-ins and everything that they had from that, starting off with like a really, really nice figure as well.
Yeah, I think that Nemesis goes on my honorable mentions list.
Yes.
Wait, is he not just a straight redeco? Is he retooled?
No, I think
he just comes with a bunch of extra stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's all stuff from other toys previous.
It's the Siege Optimus Prime that is redecoed into Nemesis, then the trailer from Earthrise Prime, then like a bunch of accessories from random stuff.
Right, okay.
Well, that's the accessories from the Power of the Primes one, and then it comes with the Snaketron. Is that his name?
Yes.
And was it Giza or something like that? Or?
In Giza from Power of the Primes, Nemesis Prime, yes.
Cool.
Yeah. And Play-Doh. Can't forget the Play-Doh.
Oh, yes, and the Play-Doh.
I have that sitting somewhere right next to me.
Yeah, good set.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little disappointed when I try to sell my complete Nemesis Prime and then realize I don't have the Play-Doh anymore, like 10 years from now.
I put that
Someone
Play-Doh
will
in
be
a
like,
stupid
well, actually,
freezer
it's not
bag,
complete.
sitting in a tote. I kept it because
I gotta
someone's
tell you.
going to be like, it doesn't come with the Play-Doh. It does come with the Play-Doh. Or when I
But
eventually
nobody's
sell it
going to want to
Nick,
pay
he'll be like,
shipping on the Play-Doh because it's going to put it over 2
Well,
pounds, and they're going to
well,
complain. Oh, it's too much to ship now.
you want the Play-Doh, you got to pay for the Play-Doh.
That's right. That's right.
You got to pay to Play-Doh.
I was about to say that. I'm glad you said it instead.
Who is the guy that decided to throw that in, like, you know, like from Hasbro?
I cannot believe
Unboxings are popular with the kids right now. They're gonna love this. Put some Play-Doh in there for the kids.
I can't believe that in the league it expressly included a part about the Play-Doh. No one knows why we did Play-Doh. Everyone hates it. I thought that was great. It's part of the Nick is half right. It's the unboxing is the slime trend.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Except Play-Doh's not slime, so. And it's $60. I don't think anyone's.
Right. Your kids aren't buying the $60 set.
That's a miss, but it's a fun toy anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lucas, what's your number two?
So my pick is also Optimus Prime, but the slightly better version of Optimus Prime. So this one, I really debated on whether or not to get this or to just keep the Earthrise Prime, but I really like this, like the slightly darker blue, like the windshield. I just like the colors on that. I think the Target Masters were really well done as well. On it, so I'm somewhat frustrated that now I've probably spent on Earthrise Prime between the figure and the kits and the upgrades and this and whatever. I've probably spent enough to get an MP10. But nevertheless, it's a really great figure.
Yeah, it's good. Good stuff.
Nick, before you get to your number one, I know you had an honorable mention. Did you want to do
number 2,
2 or 3 that you wanted to do before you get to number one?
No. I could talk about my short list if you want. I still have my notes.
Stuff that didn't quite make our number ones. I feel like that would be put in there.
Well, I'm not up to I still have to go to my number 2 yet. Remember?
How?
Yeah, he still has a 2 because
I'm the last in the cycle, even though I was the first in the cycle because I had an honorable mention.
You started with the honorable mention.
I was anticipating the honorable mention, and so I had that planned into my whole spiel, and I apologize.
You messed it all up.
Made a mess of it all.
All right, what's your number 2 then?
Number 2. Oh God! Now I have to make a decision.
Decide. 3, 2, 1.
My number 2 is Super Megatron.
Well done.
Because this is a concept I have wanted a figure of since I learned of its existence 20 years ago when I was first on the interwebs looking at Transformer nonsense, and this is just it surpassed every expectation I had. How much of this got retooled from that Galvatron? This is an entirely new figure. It is so much less hollow than the Galvatron was. It retains, a lot of the posability. The new cannons are great. The head with the different switchy parts is fantastic. So even if you have zero connection to the original fiction that he comes out of, you can make a whole bunch of different faces because he's got a different forehead and a different face, and they rotate around, and it's very cool. This was just a huge hit for me this year. He's been sitting on my desk since I got him, and I haven't put him away yet. He's so much fun, and he's so pretty. All of the red and the black is so striking. I haven't transformed him yet, really. So I'm good with this mode. Oh, and the chest plate. The chest plate goes flippy, and then you get a different option for the chest too, and that's cool. But that one's boring, so I'm going to go back to the other side. There he is. Anyway, yes, Super Megatron is my number 2.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
Such a great figure. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like we've just gotten so many fun figures this year that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that we actually got that figure, or we got this representation that's this much closer to the animation.
Oh yeah, it's been a good year for that stuff.
Mm-hmm. One last thing about Super Megatron is I didn't realize how many cues animated Megatron took from the original designs for Super Megatron. There's a lot of him in there. So if you're of that mindset, he could hang out with your animated guys.
I miss animated.
Me too.
I'm so glad they got that 10th anniversary. So.
Oh. Would have been a great time to do Blackout. Oh.
No, I'm sad. So I guess before I get to my number one, I did want to do some honorable mentions. We've talked about all of them that I wanted to put on there, actually. Mine would be Super Megatron, Piranacon, or King Poseidon, depending on which side of the planet you're on, and the Pit of Judgment set. Oh, and we actually haven't talked about one, the Centurion set, too. I don't think like the Centurion drone figure is super great. It is cool. It's a nice concept. I'm glad it's there. But to have an actual accessory pack come out, I mean, that's just groundbreaking for us. I mean, Star Wars has had it, G.I. Joe's had it, and now we have it. And I think that's something that needs to happen more than once a year.
Look, Battle Gear accessory packs are a thing going back to, Captain Action, technically, but at least as far as our memories go, back to G.I. Joe and He-Man, So it is cool to see that kind of thing come back again, and I hope we see more of it.
It was harder to do in Generation 1 because all the disparate sources. So you had like 3mm pegs, 5mm pegs, and larger or not for characters that didn't have pegs in the hands. Yeah, exactly. So now that we've standardized with the 5mm, 3mm, and then the C-clip, which has kind of phased out, but I'd welcome it back.
Sure.
But all the blasty blasts and all that fun stuff, now that everything seems to be moving in a uniform direction for at least the Generations line, an accessory pack is more than welcome. And like Christian said, we need to see it at least once a year. Just put your throwaway, some throwaway.
Anything that got cut out of the budget, put it in the accessory pack. We'll buy it.
Put multicolored cogs as that.
Yeah.
Multicolored cogs from the show.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'll buy them.
It's
two different color cogs.
Pack, the yellow cog pack, the green cog pack, and they all come with different stuff. And there you go.
Yep.
Done.
I'll get them all.
Yep.
Even if it came with 3 of the same sets of accessories, I'd get them all.
I will say that we're not the good sample size for Hasbro because we will literally buy it all. So
That's true. That's true.
But I will enjoy it, and I will curse you for it. And see, that's different.
Exactly.
Unlike Buzzworthy.
Yes. Whereas, like Buzzworthy, I'll still buy it, but I will curse you for every dollar I spend.
Yes.
I'm not going to buy Buzzworthy. I guess if someone wanted to split a Bumblebee and Spike pack, I'd take the Spike. But
okay, but why would anyone split the best part with you?
Exactly.
That Spike will show up somewhere else.
The Bumblebee looks kind of
they're not done with it. Like, everything else in that line is a reuse. Clearly, that set will get some use somewhere else.
Probably.
I do like that they mixed up the Spark Armor guys with the difference. Like Bumblebee has the trash truck when that originally came with Grimlock, so that's neat. So at least you can have. I don't think the deco changed on either, but Merp.
Cool. Sure, so my actual number one, I did not bring him out here because he's rather large. It is Scorponok. I really love that figure. The paint, the sculpt. Oh, yeah. Is everyone else's number one Scorponok, too? Are we doing this?
My buddy.
Can't put us on a show. Can't take us anywhere.
Well, Ron called it. He said, I feel like that there's some Scorponok picks coming in. And the upgrade kits haven't even come out yet.
I know. He's just super good. It's clearly the best Titan they've done. I said it about Omega last year. I'll say it about Scorponok this year. It's just the sculpt work is great. The paint work is great. The actual hardware is great. It's good to have this character in the right scale. And for the first time in Titans, I actually like the alt modes. Even the city mode. It's weird. It's just mostly a sidewalk with a lump on it, but it's fine. I like it. The Scorpion mode is fantastic.
Yeah.
And, Scorponok.
And I gotta tell you, from the original line, the original Scorponok is one of my favorite figures. So this figure was, absolutely did that justice. But he didn't make my top 5.
Wow. I'm interested to see what
simply because he is so large, I haven't even had time or space to mess with him. He's still sort of tucked away in his box, sitting in a corner.
See, Nick, that's a you problem, not a Scorponok
and
problem.
Omega Supreme. Like, I love these guys,
Scorponok
and I have no place to mess with them. I don't have that kind of space.
You've got that Go Lion guy in the back. Throw that in the garbage.
That's inventory. That's not even my Go Lion. My Go Lion's over there.
Cool. Throw both in the garbage and break out that Scorponok.
Well worth your time.
I mean, the Scorponok is just fantastic, though. I mean, I feel like that this is like the G1 toy, like what you really wanted. Now, again, the G1 toy again is really, really good. But I mean, this is like the size of like what you would expect it to be.
He can punch Fortress Maximus
really
in the head.
Yeah.
Unlike the other one, who has to like.
And again, I feel like I have to mention the claws go pinchy.
Yeah, pinchy. Oh, and the Ratchet's so much better on this guy than the others, right?
Oh, I was gonna mention, Big Bad put a pre-order back up for him, and I think like some of the other online retailers too. So if you missed out before and you want it, like order it from Big Bad.
I would say order it from Big Bad.
My only complaint about this figure, my real complaint, is that he doesn't come with his gun, and that was such a big part.
This is why you just get $100 in upgrade kits. It's fine.
I don't want to do that. Make him into another, like, one of those, what are they called? The guys that... Yeah, that. Make him one of those. Make it a new character.
Fast Track was straight garbage. God,
I love him.
Fast Track's great as guard minders for my Black Zarak.
There you go. That's acceptable. In spear mode, it's
sad.
Yeah.
I have that
and they don't use the head. There's no use for the head. In spear mode, it's just like off to the side. As guard minders, as just drones that build the M2 Operation M2 or whatever to blow up the Earth.
It's in the back.
What? Not in spear mode.
It's into the back, yeah.
No.
I turned it into spear mode. There was no parts left over.
You did it wrong.
You did it wrong.
You did it wrong.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
The spear mode does not use the head.
But I wish it did have the gun.
It was in a really stupid place, but it was on there.
Look at
you did that.
You did that. I did that. It's not supposed to be there because it's garbage.
But he looks the part. Scorponok looks the part. He has the double headmaster gimmick like Fort Max does finally. So that way you have a Zarak that can stand next to Galvatron like in the Headmasters cartoon, you know?
What is that dude's name?
Mo?
Okay, so is it Mo, Zarak, and Scorponok now?
See, I don't know. I don't know how the toy breaks it down. All I know is that
what's the Cerebro-sized dude's name now? He doesn't have
just
that.
Call him Mo. Just call him Mo.
I can do that.
I'm gonna call mine Curly.
I can do Mo.
So, and then there's upgrade kits. So if you're missing something, or you don't like the legs, or you don't like the, I don't know, whatever, I don't even know. There's 2 different upgrade kits, and they're both fantastic, and I have them both pre-ordered, and they're coming soon, and woo.
Yeah.
Gimme.
I was very tempted, but
I got the gun kit. I didn't get the Scorpion.
Yeah.
Kit.
I'm the same way. That's what I did.
Lucas, was that your number one, or did you just happen to have him hanging around?
That was my number one as well. So
Nice.
I was trying to figure out between that and the Earthrise Prime. Both of those, I mean, honestly, like my whole list. And, you know, as far as honorable mentions, like I'm looking over there and there's like here's my honorable mentions. You know what I mean? Like it's just, God, it's such a great year.
We skipped that for Peter. Peter, what are your honorable mentions?
Okay, so not a moment of clarity. Coming clean. This isn't my list. This is not my this is not my top 5.
It's not.
This is my top 5 because I brought this topic up with my son. This is his top 5, and these are his toys. So, yeah. Well, I mean, the double dealer's mine because his was all packed away, whatever. But everything else is his.
Oh.
And I agree with the points that he made, and I agree with the points that we all made when we talked about these toys. But that's why there was no selects in my picks, because he didn't choose any selects. Because they're out of his price range, and he didn't get any. But he did get Scorponok, and he did get Skylinks, and he did get the Quintesson, and he did get Double Dealer, and he did get all the Seekers. All the Seekers. He's delighted. And so My honorable mentions are pretty much everything that all of you covered elsewhere. The frickin' Seacons and Rotor Storm and Exhaust. He's where's Exhaust? He's up there somewhere. All the select stuff is just giving me the shivers because frickin' perfect. Super Megatron. He's hanging out with my Sharktacon for no reason. But like this year has been insanity when it comes to just literally making my toy dreams come true. They're filling all the voids. Now it's time to work on 1988 a little bit more because 1988 is a wonderful year. We got some Seacons and we got a couple of Power Masters. But man, I want some Trigger Bots. I want some Trigger Cons. I want some Fire Cons. I want some Sparkle Bots. I want some better Pretenders. I want some Headmaster Juniors. I want some Juniors. Headmaster Juniors. Bring them to me.
What about the dogfight that we got from Japan? You didn't like
that dogfight? Is pretty cool.
Was it?
No, TAV. It's from TAV.
Yeah. That's right.
That's fine. And override. I thought
override.
Those were neat.
Yeah.
They could be redone and they'd be better, but
they'd be better figures. I know they need better figures, but it's fun to put there.
I have seen customs for all the Trigger Bots, all the Trigger Cons. Recently, and all the Pretenders. Someone did all the Master Force character Pretenders, not Sky High and the second wave Groundbreaker and those guys. But yeah, and they did it. They made them out of Titans Return toys, as I recall, and they were beautiful. I would be so happy if in the next year or next trilogy or whatever's after Kingdom, we knocked out some of those characters and plugged some of those holes. Yes, I know we're going to get an Earth mode Sideswipe. We're going to get an Earth mode Hoopy-Doo, and we're going to get an Earth mode whatever town, and that's great. And yay! Those are gaps we need to fill, and people want that stuff. But I want more characters who haven't gotten love. Where is a Backstreet in America? You know, I'm not talking about Nick Carter and friends. I'm talking about my Triggerbot buddies. Yeah, end of thought.
So you're saying you want it that way?
Wait, wasn't that? No, that is.
Tell me why.
That's them.
Oh!
Okay. When after high school, I had no one to talk Transformers with. I could talk online with random people, and I didn't know anybody. And I was going to shows, but I was too afraid to talk to anybody. And so I talked to my sister. She's a couple years younger than me. And she said, I will listen to your Transformer crap all day long. But in exchange, you have to listen to my BSB 98 degrees O-Town crap. And so I learned way too much about boy bands from the late 90s. Way too much.
Never be too much.
I'm going to leave it there.
So there you go. So Ron in the chat mentions he wonders why we don't have any love for the Netflix Bumblebee or Earthrise, like Run Amok, Runabout, all that. And those were like the ones, like I was really debating between Prowl and those guys. Like the Bumblebee is really fantastic as well. And I mean, I don't know, we still have Nick's number one, so who knows, but you know, like those were great for me as well. Like I love those. So
yeah, Alita nearly made the list for me.
Yeah,
I'm glad the battle charges exist, but I didn't think they were anything like spectacular. But hey, I'm glad someone does.
They were fun. I'm happy we got them. They were welcome upgrades to the Fun Pub stuff.
Yeah, if this had been a top 10 list, they'd have been on here.
Yeah.
I think I would have slotted them into the same slot though.
Yes.
Yeah.
They would count as the same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't have one without the other. That's what it is.
All right, so Peter, I guess your number one was Scorponok as well then?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I guess we just got Nick, and it's not Scorponok. So what's your number one?
My honorable mentions, my short list was obviously the Optimus Prime, Astro Train, although that was technically last year, it was just a reissue this year. The Centurion drone, I really like that. The the Alicon, because I'm a sucker for army builders. Earthrise Megatron, because I know you guys don't care for that head sculpt, but I do. Run amok and run about.
It looks better on G2. I probably should have put G2 Megatron on my list, but...
We'll get there.
Oh! Ah!
Scorpion Aqua's on my honorable mentions too. And Sandstorm by himself. And Corden and Spin Out, because I was so stoked to have those guys. Mm-hmm. But yes, my number one is, in fact, Megastorm.
Yay, Megastorm!
Because I have wanted a Megastorm for so long now, and I'm so glad that I got one.
Megatron attack.
He's so pretty and green, and they got all the deco right, and like he's got the eyebrow face that I love, and yes, everything about this guy, G2 Megatron or Megastorm or whatever the hell you want to call him, he is fantastic, and I love the neon. He's so cool.
Today, he's very good.
Yeah,
he's in my pile in the storage unit.
Yeah.
More Beast Wars second stuff, please, if you can figure out some way to sneak him in.
So I didn't love that head on the Earthrise Megatron. Like, it was fine, but it's so much better on the G2 one. Just the way they did the paint and everything. It's amazing.
He's so cool.
I was telling Lucas earlier that I think if they Netflixified that mold, that it would be my forever Megatron.
Yeah.
There's so much detail in that mold.
Mm-hmm.
The G2 one was the first version I had of it. I got the Siege one, I didn't get the Earthrise one, and I got the G2 one. And there's just so much detail that's all sculpted in there. I feel like if they did a cool paint wash to it like they did the Siege Netflix Megatron, that it would be just mind-blowing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That G2 one, man, I opened today, and you're right, the neon just...
Yeah.
Made me so happy just to look at it. I can see it on my coffee table from where I'm sitting right now, and it's
the bright orange fantastic. Just pops, and his eyes just like boom. He's so neat.
Very cool.
So that was my number one.
Do we have any unique number ones from the chat we need to talk about, Lucas?
I don't think we have any new ones from the chat. So I think other than Ron talking about the Netflix Bumblebee and whatnot. So, yeah, I don't know from the chat, like, Catherine, Zelda, and Ron, like, what's your guys' number one? I mean, Zaldron, I know earlier mentioned Earthrise Prime was his number one, so, and that, I think Tiger Tracks, I think, was number two, so.
Sure.
That's a good one, too.
If I had to pick one of the mini-bot uses of the shared mold, I'd probably go either Bug Bite or Hubcap, because it was neat to see a Hubcap.
Really?
Yeah.
See, the Hubcap was kind of boring.
Really?
No,
it's very boring.
Okay, like, yeah, it was nice to see him, but it was, I don't know, for whatever reason, we all felt that way. Bug Bite's great, though.
Yeah, Bug Bite's nice. Yeah, we did a Microcasters episode with Hubcap, and maybe it's because he came out at the same time as Rotorstorm, but we all panned Hubcap.
He definitely got overshadowed by Rotorstorm, yeah. But, like, when were we going to get a Hubcap otherwise?
You're right. I'm hoping we still see lots more uses of that. Flip and tap out. I'd like Volks and Carrera or whoever, and Wasp.
Oh.
Animated Anniversary Pack, do Wasp and Waspinator in the animated colors.
They won't.
Oh, did I get you, Peter?
You got me. I want that.
Because the Waspinator from the show, animated show, is not the same colors as it's the green and purple, not the green and yellow. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. I forget that.
Yeah, it's different colors from Beast Wars to animated. So.
Very true.
There's your repaint.
Ooh.
I want it.
But if they do that and don't give me Buzzsaw, I'm gonna be really mad.
You're gonna get a Buzzsaw.
I want Buzzsaw so badly, guys. Like, I think I want that more than I want the T-Rex that's coming up.
Ron also mentioned the Micromaster Space Shuttle set was cool, that he really liked that. So that was probably the best Micromasters.
I never saw them in the wild, and I haven't gotten them aftermarket yet. That's the only thing I'm missing from Earthrise.
Why didn't you tell me I had to pick you up one?
Well, Don't know.
Yeah, I'll look around for you when I'm out.
I mean, we've got all the Wave 2s or whatever. Just Wave 2 all day.
I really like the Hot Rod Patrol, just because I like the Hot Rod Patrol.
Yeah. I have to check out my new Hot Rod Patrol. They're a sharp-looking bunch, but can they transform?
I'm a big fan of the Dreamwave Micromasters book, and they were the main characters in that. They're very angsty at a time where I was learning how to angst, so they have a special place in my heart. That said, that we don't have hubs and Trip Up is unfortunate.
That we're missing half of every team is unfortunate, and I hope they revisit them post-Kingdom.
Fix it!
They just want to make us all nuts.
You know, Dr. Wu's making cassettes for Soundwave. Go ahead and make more Micromasters.
I'm surprised that a third-party outfit has not taken on some Micromaster stuff. Even if it's just like...
They would be cheap enough to produce, you got to imagine.
Even if they just like reshell things, it's just like magical fantasy wish fulfillment. You want the A-Team van? Here's the A-Team van. You know, you want Knight Rider? Here's Knight Rider thing. You want whatever. Just go crazy with it. Make cars that turn into little guys.
I think the Squawk Box set I mentioned from Dr. Wu's like $20.
Yeah, it's like $24.
Yeah.
$25? Okay, whatever. Am I right, Peter, that it's Hubs and Trip Up we didn't get?
I believe so, yeah. Because we got
Big Daddy and...
I'm brain farting right now, but yes.
Well, I don't know.
Big Daddy is the only Micromaster I know the name of.
That's not his name anymore.
No, it's not.
So everybody else gets a TFYLP search when I have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Ron also mentions the Studio Series Wreckers were fun as well.
They were fun. They have some issues with, they have so much kibble. That's why they didn't make my list. But I will give them this. They all exist in all one form now, and it took almost 10 years to get that to happen.
They finally got the team right, as opposed to Dark of the Moon, where they just like, you get a this size, and you get a that size, and you get a, well, you'll be in armor, blah, blah, gun mode. And then
you get canceled.
You're not, this isn't coming out. You're coming out in Singapore. You're good, my bro. You're okay. No.
It was good to see them all come out like that. That was pretty satisfying last year. I really did enjoy that.
Ron is also asking, what's the most grapples that you've seen in one location? I actually haven't seen that many.
I had between 4 and 6 right here in my basement at one point.
I have dozens and dozens and dozens. Almost all of my Walmarts are just flooded with grapples and a couple of stars. Not yet.
If they do, hook the brethren up.
Do you still need a grapple?
I need one that's not full price.
Okay, we should talk after the show.
We should talk. I've got like 1,000 things to sell you anyway.
Oh, good. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Put them all in a box, no packaging, shake it up, and then throw the box.
I did that to Nick once, and he yelled at me, so I don't do that anymore.
So
he did.
All right. Well, Peter, now that it's the end of the show, do we have that story about the brain damage?
Yes. Okay. So I have the brain
damage.
Totes. Totes have brain damage.
Totes for goats.
And okay, so I've got about 200 totes in my storage unit. 37-gallon Rubbermaid totes, and they discontinued them and they replaced them with at Home Depot. They discontinued them everywhere, and so I've been trying to find these totes and mop them up and get all the totes that I can. And they're gone now. They're all gone now. So I started looking on Facebook and Craigslist and iOffer and all these other weirdo outfits to try and find some totes. I found some totes in Jacksonville, Florida, which is like 3.5 hours away, one direction. And so I went and bought some totes this weekend, and I was happy. And
how many totes did you get for that drive?
3.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got 3 totes with lids, good condition, very happy. And then I came home, got home, happy, and then my car died.
Oh no.
So $1,600 later, I should have my car back tomorrow.
Oh no.
Those are the most expensive totes you've ever bought.
Yeah, there will be others. It's fine.
500
There will be more totes. We will get more totes. I'm going to put an ad out and be like, looking to buy these totes. And I'm going to have pictures of my totes. I will come to you for these totes. They are for sale in Canada, man. They're for sale in... They are for sale in Canada. But they won't... Canada. It's at like some tire place. They've got them online. You can order them, but they won't ship to the United States.
I'd say make a cross-country trip for that, but they won't let you in right now.
They won't let me in because reasons.
You'd have to go through me to get there anyway. Pick me up. Let's go. Let's do it.
I'm down
Well,
with
if we're
road
doing
tripping.
that, I'm further north too, so the three of us could go.
So I hit Christian at the day one mark.
Road
Yeah.
trip. Road trip. We'll have to rent like a big old U-Haul and filled with the totes.
So
do that.
like it could be like a TFCon Toronto trip, except like this is like in the future.
Mm-hmm.
One day.
So Peter, you've said that this is a result of your brain damage, but if we're all supporting you, does that mean we're also brain damaged, or does that mean we're just really good friends?
I'm gonna go with both on that one. We've talked in our private group that we all have a flavor of brain damage, and that we all also like to support one another, so long as it's like healthy and we're not letting people endanger themselves. Because, we had a friend, we all have a mutual friend that went and did a local pickup from someone that sounded like they were completely batshit last week, and they read the messages to us and copied everything over. Like, we share messages that people send us because Nick gets weird messages from eBay. We all have those weird interactions. Has card.
Well, Has card is specifically you guys. Thing Truck was from the actual.
Thing Truck was from an actual person.
Has card came from
Thing Truck, yes.
From Thing Truck, and it like spilled out based in fact, and then became its own thing. Its own Thing Truck.
You're not really friends with Nick if you haven't sent him a bullshit message on eBay.
All in caps. Hey, what this? This good for me. Sell. Yeah. So
we are supportive. Thing Truck next Thursday.
So we are supportive, and we are all insane. So let's continue moving forward in that vein. I like it. It's productive.
You gotta do something. Might as well do this.
That is true. Tomorrow night, what are we reviewing, Christian? Do we know?
I think we're doing Kingdom Megatron tomorrow.
Is that it? Was it Kingdom Megatron?
I am declaring
Okay, cool. Awesome. So
I'm making the decision.
I'm excited. It's funny because we have all these lists and we're like trying to schedule it out, and then every week it's just like at the last minute. All right, what are we doing? All right, Megatron, sure.
Anna tried to put us on a schedule, and we're working on it. We're trying to be more organized.
Yeah, we're trying to be better. So check that out. That'll be on the tftalk.net Facebook page live tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. I believe there's another Oof My Wallet this week as well. So check that out. So that should be fun. That'll be Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. I guess that's it. Thank you to everyone in the chat that participated. Ron, Catherine, Zaldron, Enots, Paul was in there as well. I think there was somebody else in there. I'm like forgetting.
Esquire Prime, I think was in there.
Esquire Prime, yes. Thank you. Joshua. So thank you guys. And Enots actually mentioned, are we getting an Earthrise Megatron in Netflix? I can't remember if that wasn't there a rumor of
there's a rumor that's the Disguise Pack or whatever.
The leader pack.
The clear Paleotrix.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
maybe.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Book club this week is RID issues 15 and 16. So they say, Christian, that they want you to show up and read them the script that you have from Simon Furman. So
we could do a dramatic script reading. We could all do voices. You guys want to do that?
I can do that. I think I know where that is. Let me look for that, and I'll get back to you guys.
So, but yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.